Hello everyone, this is our continuation of part 4, Crud operation using MVC Core 6. Okay, so in last video, like if you remember, we have created this like table, and here we are showing our employees, like employee name, job, salary, and we are having some button here like we can update employee record. Here we can see the detail of the employee record, and we can delete the employee record if you want. Okay, but currently we don't have like all these functionality working, so we'll implement all these functionality by step. Okay, so for this video, like as I told, like we'll start this create new employee button. I'll when we are going to click on this button, so it will redirect to some view, and on that view we'll create some like UI. So from there we can insert our data, and we can user can insert data, and we can store the data into our database. So we'll see how to do all these things by using .NET Core 6.0 version. Okay, so just let me click on this button. Once we are clicking here, if you see here, we are this. If you see this URL here, it's showing like employee controller and create action method. Okay, but this page is showing like the local host page can't found. We are getting HTTP error 404 error here. It means this resource, whatever we are looking for, that is not available on the server side. That's why we are getting 404 exception here. So now just let me go to employee controller, and we'll see this like action method is there or not. Okay, so I'll go to my Visual Studio, and if you see, I'm on the employee controller, and inside employee controller I have only one index view, or like index action method. Okay, so here we are not having any like create action method. That's why we are getting 404 exception, because when we are clicking on the create button here, just let me go back. When we are clicking here, it's going to create action method, and create action method trying to render that view, but we don't have that create action method and create view. So that's why we are getting 404 exception. So let me create that create action method first. Just go to our index action method, and here we are having right like logic for showing that edit button. Okay, delete button, details button, delete button, and on the top we are having create button. Here we are created that create button. If you see the ESP_action, that is create action. Okay, controller, which controller? Employee control we are targeting here. It means when any user is clicking on this button, it will go to that employee controller and create action method. So let me create action method. Just go to employee controller, and here we can create one more action method, and that action method should be named as create. Okay, so just write public action result create. We'll make this action method as create, and from here we can write return view. Okay, return view, like that. So now we are already in running mode. Just let me reload it, and we'll see what is happening now. Okay, just let me go to our employee controller and click on create. See, this time you are getting a different exception. Previously we got 404, but now it's different. Like unhandled exception occurred while processing the request. What happened? What it's asking? It's saying like invalid operation exception. It means the view create was not found. Now it's showing like view create was not found. So it's trying to find that view named create. So it's not available because we didn't create it. Just we created the create action method. Okay, and which location it's searching? So if you see, the following location was searched. Okay, which location? Inside view folder, inside employee folder, and inside employee folder it want to search the create.html, CSHTML. If you go to our Visual Studio and see this location first. Okay, inside view, employee, and create.cshtml. So just let me go here, and if you see here inside view, we are having employee folder, right? Employee folder, inside employee, just we are having one file, that is index.cshtml. Here we are not having any create.cshtml file. That's why we are getting this error here, exception. See, view employee create.cshtml, this file is not available. That's why it's showing like create view is not found. After that, it searched this location as well as it searched here also, like view shared create.cshtml. Might be there is chance we are created this view inside a share. So that's why that MVC automatically search in the shared folder also. Okay, so we'll create this view first. So just let me go to my Visual Studio. And how to create view? It's a very easy. Just right click on the action method and okay, let me stop first. Then we can create. Right click here and just click on add view. And see here we are showing only two options like razor view empty and razor view. Okay, so if you want to use scaffolding, so you can choose this razor view, and if you want to create view from scratch, you can go with this empty view. So we are going with this empty view. Okay, just choose it and click on add. After adding, so including template, just give the proper name, create.cshtml, add it. Okay, now go to here, see employee folder now having create.cshtml file. Okay, let me write code first here. So now we'll write here some C# code. We'll provide some title. So at the rate and view bag dot title, give something like create new employee. Okay, create new employee. And here we can give some like S3 tag. I'll use some bootstrap class also. So like I'll give here text info and create new employee. Okay, like this. Save it. Now run your project again. And we'll see this time we'll not get error because we created now that view. So just let me move to our employee controller, click here. Now click on create action method. Okay, see now successfully we are moved to create action method and this view is rendered here. So now the error is gone. So here we'll design our UI to take input from user and we'll try to store the data into our SQL Server database. Okay, so here let me design that UI. And okay, let me stop first it because sometime intelligence will not work if you're running your code Visual Studio. Okay, so let me stop here. Here, go to your employee and we'll see what is our like model class for this. Okay, because we want to store data into database, right? So we need to see the model class. So here we are having employee.cs class. This is our entity, employee entity, and here we are seeing like employee ID, employee name, job, and salary. Here we are having 4 property. So we'll use all these four property and we'll insert the data into database according to all these 4. Now we'll move to our create.cshtml and we'll decide here what is the model of this class, this controller, because we want to create, we are trying to create this view as a strongly typed. So here we need to use model directive. Okay, small model. Okay, model, and which class? Employee class. Now let me design our view. I'll use some bootstrap classes here to make look and feel somewhat better. Class I'll use container. Okay, and here I will use one div. and give something like we are using a bootstrap grid system. Okay. So first I will use some label and give ASP4. So these are the tag helper here. And see, once you type ASP4, this is the tag helper for ASP.NET Core. The label color, or we can say label font, automatically change. So easily you can identify, okay, here we are applied our tag helpers. Okay, and intelligence also will work fine. So what you want to find here? You want to find EMP name. See here, automatically it came, right? EMP name, label for EMP name, and give some bootstrap class here also. Give class is equals to which class you want to give here, like form label. Okay, form label. We'll take one input box, input ASP for what? For EMP. Okay, just close it and apply a class. Apply a class form control. Okay, just like this. We'll add some more property here, some more control here. Okay, or let me use one inside div also. Okay, like this. And just for time being, I'm copying pasting. Control P. Okay, change property name. So EMP name we are having here, not type. EMP job, just copy, paste. Now what we are having, EMP salary, just copy and paste. And what is the next? We are having EMP salary, EMP name, EMP job only. Okay, only 3 required, because EMP ID we don't want to insert from like front end, because this is auto generated. We are having here key attribute. Okay, so just to go here, make it stock. Okay, so we don't want this. Better to take here some button. Okay, take class btn success, and give some proper name like create. Okay, take one more button, or we'll take anchor tag, but here we'll type back to, if we don't want to create new, just go to details of employee. Okay, so back to employee detail, and this action method is anchor tag. We need to define which action method and which controller. Okay, so just use ASP underscore action name is index, and its controller ASP underscore controller, we can use here employee controller. Okay, employee controller. And if you don't like mention control also, it will go to employee control only, because you are inside employee control only, because all these view belong to employee controller. Okay, so by default it will go to employee controllers. So here let me define one form also, because we are trying to post all these data. So form is mandatory. Without form we cannot post anything. So I created form, and method should be post, right? Take this form, cut from here, and just paste here. So everything should be inside form, whatever you want to post. This is our end tag, not like this, like this. Okay, save it. Just see here. Let me run. We'll see how our UI is looking. Okay. Just go to employee, click on create. Okay, see, employee name is came, employee job, EMP salary, create button also came, and here we need to apply some CSS, so it should look somewhat good. So just let me use some CSS, or I can use here bootstrap class margin. Okay, so just use class I can use margin top, use 3. Okay, empty means margin top. Make it stop first. Okay, and here apply some class, so it should look also good. Button class will apply here. So class btn vtn danger or something, vtn danger, let me apply. Okay, now let me run one more time, we'll see. So just go to employee, click on create. Yeah, see here, employee name, employee job, employee salary, and if you click on back to employee, it will go to here list. Create. If you don't want to create, just click here, come back. Okay, now when we are click on create button, whatever data we are passing here, it should insert into our database. So I click here create button, but nothing is happening, and even we are not getting any exception. The reason is, if you see my controller here, just let me go to here. So inside controller we are having one action method. Okay, and that is create action method. So this action method is not having any here like action verb called http get or http post. So that's why this action be having both, like it handling get request as well as post request also. So when we are first time requesting this action method, it's like happen accepting as a get request, and it's showing the view here like this. And when we are clicking on this create button, so this form is submitted there on the same action method as a post request, and again, like it's not doing anything because here just we are returning the view. So that's why it's again showing the same view here. So that's why it's happening. See here, see post back is happening here. See, if you see the here, just focus on this point and see here. See, post back is happening. So every time it's going to that action method and again rendering the same view. We can keep here breakpoint if you want to see, and just click on here. See, now it hit our breakpoint, and again okay. Let me click continue. Okay, let me stop somewhere. I think something happened wrong. So what we will do, just rerun. Employee, click on create new employee, create, always coming to this action method only. Here, and just click on create. See, it came here. If I click continue, Added something showing adding attribute require restart of the application. Okay, always asking restart. I think I have to change some setting here. Okay, no issue. So what I will do to handle the post request, I'll create one method again, same method with HTTP post. Okay, so let me configure this HTTP get to differentiate both method, and we'll create one more method with the same name here. Okay, and we'll make it HTTP post action verb here. So it will handle only post request and it will handle only get request. And post request here, we are accepting employee data. And for now, let me write here create view. So exception will go on and click on breakpoint here and see. Now it will come to this action method because this is handling HTTP post now. Okay. So just run here. Go to employee, click on create new. I'm not giving any data, or let me give some any names. Okay, just give any dummy name, manager or salary, something. Okay, click on create. See, it came here, and if you see the data here, the object employee, here we are having the data, whatever we are passing from there. Employee ID is coming 0 because we are not passing any employee data from our UI side. Okay, because inside in our class we are written that attribute as a key, so it will generate automatically by a database. Employee job, employee name, employee salary we are getting here. So after fetching the data from that UI, we need to save the data into database by using entity framework core, and we are using here model first, code first approach here. So just let me stop it, and see here entity framework core. Here we are having migration folder. So while seeing the migration folder, you can understand, okay, we are using entity framework core, and inside the model we are having application DB contact class. In previous video, I created all these classes, DB set property employee. Okay, so now we are trying to insert the data. So here, if you see, for this employee controller, I have one constructor that is employee controller constructor. Okay, and here I'm injecting application DB context class by using constructor injection, or you can say this is dependency injection with the help of constructor. So here I'm injecting so that ASP.NET Core framework automatically create the instance for this class, and it will provide to us. So just our job is only inject this application via constructor. So now I created one read only variable here, and I injected this application here and assign this variable to this variable. So now we are having instance of application DB contact class into this variable. It means with the help of this variable we can access all the method and property whatever this class is having. Okay, so now we are going to insert some data. So before inserting, I want to check some model state property. Your model is valid or not. Okay, so model state dot is valid. If it is valid, then we are going to insert data into our database. So what is our data and DB context class? Like we are having DB set property name employee. Okay, employee dot add. Just we'll use add method, and this employee is coming here, right? So straightforward, we can give here like this, and after that we need to use DB dot save changes method. Okay, so save changes will save the data into database permanently, and if we are having any exception, then we will return this view again. And here, if record inserted successfully, then we will return to redirect to action method and index action method. Index means this action method. Okay, so here we are showing all the employee list. Now let me run this. Okay, employee. So currently we are having here two record. One is John, second is Martin. Let me create one more here. I'll create Smith. Okay, job I'll give something like HR. Salary, give something. Okay, give provide good salary. Create here. We have breakpoint. If you want to debug, you can debug, or you can make continue. Okay, step over. We'll go. Some problem with my Visual Studio. Let me click on continue. Okay, we need to recompile again. So my application start running here. Just to go to employee. Okay, click on create, give some name, Smith manager. Okay, give some salary, and see here we are having Smith. Okay, so now like this we can insert as many as you want. That many number of record you can insert here by using this create method. Okay, and if you see here edit details and delete functionality, if you click on edit or delete details or delete, so currently we are not having action method and view for that, so we'll get exception here. See here we are getting again 404 exception like our create action method. Okay, so for that we need to create edit functionality, details functionality, and delete functionality. So we'll create all these functionality in our upcoming video. So like today we'll start here only. Okay, thanks for watching. Yeah.